Can you imagine walking through ancient Rome and seeing people washing clothes in buckets of urine? Workers stomp barefoot in the yellow liquid, the smell thick in the air, yet the clothes come out shining white. They called it cleaning. We'd call it unthinkable. So tell me, would you face that smell every day just to feed your family? Before you judge them, stay with me, because what Rome did next will completely change how you see dirty work. If that made you curious, hit like and subscribe. It helps more than you think. In the heart of ancient Rome, laundries called fulonici were busy from sunrise to sunset. They were filled with noise, heat, and a smell that could knock you back. These were the places where Romans brought their dirty clothes to be washed, pressed, and whitened. But instead of using soap, which didn't exist yet, they used human urine. It sounds disgusting, but there was real logic behind it. Urine contains ammonia, a strong natural cleaner that breaks down dirt, oil, and stains. Therefore, it became a cheap and effective way to clean fabrics. Around the city, public pots were placed for people to relieve themselves, and workers collected the urine every morning. What most people saw as waste, the Romans saw as opportunity. Inside those fulonici, workers known as fullers did the hard labor. They filled large stone tubs with water and urine, tossed in the clothes, and climbed in to stomp on them for hours. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. The smell was unbearable, but the clothes came out spotless, especially the bright white togas that symbolized status and power. Now, imagine yourself there for a moment. The air thick with steam and odor, your feet soaking in a tub that smells like everything you want to forget. Would you take that job if it meant putting food on the table? Be honest. Drop your answer in the comments. I really want to know. Over time, this unusual business became big money. Therefore, Emperor Vespasian saw an opportunity and decided to tax the collection of urine. People laughed at him for taxing something so filthy, but he didn't care. When his own son questioned him, he held up a coin and said, "Money doesn't stink." In Latin, pecunia non olet. From that day, the phrase became legendary. It meant that profit is profit, no matter how it's earned. This wasn't just about cleaning clothes anymore. It was about turning something useless into something valuable. The Romans were masters of practicality. They understood that survival often means seeing worth where others see waste. Therefore, the fullers became essential workers in the empire. Their shops may have smelled terrible, but they kept Rome looking perfect. Without these men, the shining image of Rome would have been impossible. They were the invisible force that helped the empire look powerful, clean, and proud. Yet, society looked down on them. People wanted spotless clothes, but not the truth behind them. They turned waste into wealth and shame into survival. They showed that value doesn't always come from beauty, but from hard work, necessity, and resilience. So, if you lived in ancient Rome, would you take that job? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious how many of you would dare to try it. And if you think that was strange, wait until you see When People Believed Diamonds Could Heal. It's a story that shows how far people once went in the name of belief. Watch it next.